Hello, 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 everybody. Great evening and happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to Sister to Sister Talk Power Moves. I am the visionary and host, Monet Horton. Super excited to be here tonight. You know, when we go up, when we show up, when we show up, we go up, and I'm excited to be able to just be here again tonight. Of course, I'm here with my super phenomenal, amazing co-host, Tiara. Say hi to the people.
Hey, 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 everybody.
Yes, yes, and yes, everybody tonight, come on in. You know, here at Sister to Sister, this is an opportunity for you to tap into some self-care, get some information that goes in and it forms. That action is the action, empowering you to make some power moves in your life. Whatever is stagnant, it has to rise up to the occasion. You got to release those limiting beliefs and doubts and mindsets. This is that time and that space so that you can rise to the occasion because time is moving, you all. And so we have to live out our full potential and purpose. Y'all know I get excited when I start talking about purpose and potential. I'm excited tonight that we have a very, very, very special guest that I'm getting ready to, we just getting ready to unleash her because she is just blazing a trail out here. And I'm excited to have my Soul Wealth sister tonight, Monique Pearson, here with us. Woo-hoo. Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you, ladies. I'm so happy to be here and happy to share. I'm all pumped up, came off of work, but I am ready and able to interact and share with the audience. Super happy to be here. Thank y'all for having me.
You are welcome. And let me just remind you all who Monique is tonight. She again is out here blazing the trail. I want to share briefly her bio. In the realm of possibility, Monique Pearson has carved her path as a trailblazing entrepreneur, empowering individuals to embrace the world through her visionary travel agency, Soaring Without Limits Enterprises, also known as SWOLE. She's going to tell us some more about that tonight. Established in January 2021, SWOLE is more than a travel agency. It's a conduit for personal growth and self-care, helping individuals to unleash their travel dreams. Now, I know y'all hearing travel and everything, but there's some other things packed up into SWOLE. And tonight we're going to talk about overcoming mental blocks and fears to activate and unleash your travel dream. And tonight, again, we are just happy to have you here, Monique. Here at Sister to Sister, we like to talk about the story behind the story, right?
Right.
Everyone sees you and sees us where we are right now, and God knows there's still work that's being done. There's still some layers that's being peeled back.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but we want to talk about what has brought you to SWOLE and all the other amazing things that you're doing. Is things that I didn't even get deep into, the speaking, just all of those things. We're going to just jump in tonight. We're going to flow with it. But before I bring you on, I want to go ahead again and welcome everyone into the room. Get your pen, get your paper, get your notepads, do what you need to do because y'all don't know which way we going tonight, right? But I know you're going to be blessed and you're going to be elevated. And so let's go ahead and give it over to Monique. How you feeling today, Monique?
I'm actually feeling fabulous. I said this is part two of the day for all of my full-time employees and those who are building their empires after they get off from the job. So I am great
Yeah.
when I'm operating in my passion and my purpose. You just like get that second boost of energy. So I'm excited and I'm just happy to be here and ready to share and hopefully be a blessing to someone who's listening this evening.
Yeah. So go ahead and let's go into your story,
Mhm.
wherever you want to start, and tell our audience who you are, and what
Okay.
has brought you to this point.
Well, I think I got to take it to the beginning in order for everyone to get the true
Yeah.
effect of today. As you said, everyone sees you when I'm not even saying I'm arrived, I'm working my way there and figure that you are an overnight success and you got there overnight. But that is definitely not my story. One, I would say, as far as I was a person who was known as being super duper shy, like never talked. um, I was always known as the quiet person, the person who wanted to play the background, who wanted to stay in the shadows, who wanted to be your number one cheerleader as long as you left me on the side. That was the role that I played for probably well into my 30s. So I would want to share with your listeners, for those who feel as if too much time has passed them by, or that it's too late for them to evolve and to grow and to walk into who God has always called them to be, because you allow fear to stop you, or those self-imposed limitations, because I was her. So I felt like within the past 7 years, so I didn't start all of this until I was in my 40s. So I wanted to say that it is never too late for you to evolve to be the woman who you were called to be. But going back to the beginning, being that shy person, but also having that courage that I knew was always within me. I'm an Army veteran. I served 8.5 years, and my field is ammunition and weapons. So being in that type of arena where it is heavy male dominated, being the only woman, being the only minority, I got used to having to be the strong Black woman and not being able to have that softness, because I felt I always had to prove myself or show myself worthy to be in these spaces. So I'm going to be all over the place with my messages, because I feel like I have had several lifetimes that I can share. So that is another message as well, as far as women being able to walk in your femininity and not feeling like you have to morph into a masculine role because you are in male dominated spaces. The power that comes with being in your true essence of a woman is another trait that came with time, that I feel that is something that is probably not pressed upon enough, especially for those of us who operate in significantly male dominated spaces, and which I'm still doing to this day as well. So from there, went to contracting. So I worked and lived in Iraq for 2 years, and Kuwait for a year. So always being in these high paced, life threatening situations, having that quiet courage, being able to do it, but not being, again, a person who was very vocal or forthright when it came to using my voice. And that evolved into later years. And as a result, pretty much everything came to be as a result of pandemic. As many have started businesses during that time, because you had that time to sit, to be quiet, to listen to God and hear what He is saying, versus constantly doing. So that is when it was revealed to me. I knew that my purpose had something to do with travel, but I just didn't know how to be able to use that to be able to help someone else until 2019. So that's when Soaring Without Limits was launched. Far as because travel has enabled me to come out of the shell that I always had, because it showed me that I was capable of doing so much more after living overseas for so many years. And having to do a lot of stuff by myself without someone there for support in countries that we may not want to visit. Like for my job, I had to go to Bosnia, Bulgaria, Serbia, getting lost and reaching all of my fears of being in a place where they didn't speak English, not having a GPS, and having all of those worst fears that I had come to pass, and me being able to circumvent them and still be here showed me that I'm capable of so much more. And those travels show that. And I said, if it can do it for me, I know that it can do it for someone else that is going to take over from just travel to their personal life to have them show up as their highest selves. So let me shut up so y'all can go ahead and bring the thing in.
So you just said a whole lot right there. Tia, I don't know if you wanted to jump if you wanted to jump in.
Oh my gosh. Like I
No,
just I was over here taking notes because you just said a mouthful. Um, what I'm still stuck on is the part where you said the power that comes from operating in your true essence.
Mhm.
And as Black women, a lot of times we are in go mode for so long, especially when you are single for a long period of time, or you don't have a significant other in your life, or maybe the significant other in your life isn't pulling the weight that he should, all the different things, right? We are
Right.
always in go mode. So that feminine part of us a lot of times gets subdued because we don't have time to be soft and be sensitive and open up and share feelings because we got stuff to do.
That's stuff to
And
do, right?
we got
so, but the reality is, though, there is power in our
Mhm.
femininity. It's
Yeah.
power in that. And the fact that you brought that up, it resonates with me because I feel like so many of us are operating from that space. We don't
Mhm.
even give ourselves time to recognize the power that lies in our femininity because we spend so much time telling ourselves that it's a weakness.
Right. I think a lot of us may not have, I'm going to be honest, I didn't see it as a power. I saw it as a weakness because I felt like I had to do what these men did, and me
Yep,
showing up and who God created me to be as a
yep,
woman was going to shortchange me and being able to do what I needed to do in this space.
absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah.
especially in that environment
Yeah.
Yes.
that you had to show up in, and that is typically a male dominated, space, right?
Mhm.
And so that was so rich because it had me like over here like, oh girl, you need to just come on down from 100 because you know how we get can get, we might be right here in the show, but we already on the next task when we wrap it up. So in that moment when you said that, I said, oh, that's come on down. But as you were sharing it in I just take my hat off without having a hat on to you for and celebrate you for just that journey and oh my goodness. And being away and having to learn, having to face the fears and having to be on a front line, right? Be present on the front line, but also learning at the same time, navigating through it. That's multitasking. And so you're developing and you're strengthening and you're finding and you're exploring all at the same time. And you are increasing and working muscles that you didn't even know were even there. And so I really celebrate you for that. And but in knowing that, I want to know
Mhm.
because you shared there was fears that showed up. There were
Yeah.
challenges that showed up. Like as you have navigated that process and then had the opportunity to experience the world at the same time, how did you begin to navigate that that fear? How did you like break free, break through, right? So that you can really experience what you be present in the moment. Does that make sense?
I
And
think
experience it at the same time. Yeah.
I think because I had to go back over my history with God. And it all started at 18, coming in, joining the service 3 days after my 18th birthday, after graduating high
Wow.
school a couple months before, getting on a plane for the first time, moving for the first time. I was born and raised in upstate New York, and my parents bought the house before I was born. So I never moved. I've only known uh, Utica, New York, that one home. So going into that world was a whole bunch of firsts for me.
First.
So being on a plane, going into the military, going overseas, being stationed in Korea within a year of joining the service. So being able to maneuver all of those new events, new opportunities within such a young period of life, I was like, if I was able to do that as a young 18-year-old, what can I do as a 20, 30, 40-year-old woman? Because I've proven to myself time and time again that I am capable of rising to the occasion.
Yeah,
So whenever I doubted myself as far as what I can do, I had to go back to my history and go ahead and pull out my resume and dust that off and be like, girl, you did this, 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 and this. And I think sometimes we allow our fear to freeze us and show, and we have to go back and play the scrolls like, girl, you did this, you got this, and
that's
pump
so good.
yourself up that you are capable. Because I think when we face something new, that doubt creeps in, but you got this because you've already done it, proven to yourself time and time again that you're going to rise to the occasion and do what you want to do.
Ooh, so that was so good, and I tried not to scream on it because sometimes here, sister, I'm like, wait a minute.
Let the
So,
spirit move you, girl. We in church, honey. We in church.
so look, what hit me is that the track record, right?
Mhm.
You went through it, right? But it's really God working through you and helping you and enabling you, right, to get through and rise up to the occasion. But I hear you so loud and clearly that what helped you to get through that fear, to break that ceiling or whatever, right, is let me go back to this resume. Let me go back to the track record. And I think it's so important that we keep a track record, right?
Mhm.
We track our careers and our journeys of education on our resume. Oh, this is really good because this is something that God has been just dealing with me about. And we do those things for everybody else.
Right.
But do we really pay attention to our lives and the
Mm.
things that we have overcome? Like, have a resume of your life.
Mm.
If I got through that season, that hurdle, that breakup, that abuse, whatever it was for you, and I'm here
Right.
to tell the story about it today. Wait a minute,
Yeah.
I don't even have to wait to get to tomorrow. Got something to celebrate and be thankful for right now that will motivate me, hopefully, cause me to look within and say, sis, you got this.
Yeah. And when you was talking, what came to my mind when I started doing spiritual counseling and starting therapy to heal some broken places, the first thing she had me do was do a timeline of life. So I broke down life from 0 to 5, 5 to 10. And at that time I was 37. And I don't think we ever totally replayed a movie of our script and take it out of our heads and put it on paper or put it in a PowerPoint slide presentation, which she had me do. And when I look back from everything from being 5 years old to that point of time that I overcame and still was here standing in my right mind because of God, I was like, oh my God. So I would highly recommend for somebody to go ahead and make your own feature film, put your life down and break it down into them little small pieces and pieces. And that is a way that you can write your resume, but also see the script that if God did it before you, then He's going to do it for you again. And also, and pull that out from time to time when you are questioning whether or not you are going to be able to make it through another trial, another tribulation. So that is something that struck me that just came in when you mentioned that about writing out your resume.
Ooh, featured in your own. Look, Tiara over there, like, mm, mm.
That because it's so good. It's so good. And when you said that, what dropped in my spirit was when the Lord brings us through something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Once we're through it and some time has passed, it can seem insignificant. We can't even remember how we felt
Mm-hmm.
those years ago because God is so good. His grace is so good. So we're not still sitting in that pain or in that trauma. when he brings us through a thing.
Mm.
So to see it in black and white, to do the timeline of life is something that I'm gonna do it because listen here, because I feel like I need it.
It's powerful because
It
I didn't
is.
really, I downplayed so much because you are too busy out here surviving instead of thriving. So I was her like, okay, I made it through this. Let me just go on. I can keep going. I can keep going. And it wasn't until I started doing that spiritual work and that therapy that made me go back to the beginning so that I can clear up those places that I was operating out of a place of woundedness and still operating as such as a grown woman. So yes, it was impactful. It's powerful. I know it's going to bless whoever decides to take that journey to go back and start from the beginning and look at how your book started so that you can go ahead and rewrite those next chapters.
Girl, wait a minute. Yes, that is so good. So everybody, come on in the room. I see y'all out there. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I hope that by just tuning in the few seconds that you've been here, that you've been able to take some jewels, write down something that you can rewrite your story. It's been a common thing over the last couple of weeks here at Sister to Sister, since the beginning of the year, of rewriting your story, hailing the woman and the girl inside, right? Going back now to write your story and your film, right? Go back to the beginning from 0 to whatever your age is. Now to really take the time to pay attention to your life. A lot of times, as women, and we know we have some men viewers as well here. Men, you can do this as well. Um, but we're serving, we're giving, we're pouring out, and we're just wanting to emphasize the importance of the power of the pause, taking a moment to pay attention, to sketch it out. And what came to my mind as we're doing that, do whatever methodology works for you. If it's recording it, if it's writing it, journaling it, getting a dedicated book. Have you, Monique, in writing your story, you even mentioned a PowerPoint. That's,
Yes, that's
great.
how I started out, but I've always been a proponent of journaling. So I have a gratitude journal, then I have my daily journal, I have my affirmation journal. I love journals, as y'all can see.
Yeah.
So for me, when I couldn't speak, my pen spoke for me for so many years until I can find my voice. So for those who have a problem being more vocal, that is also a voice. Your pen is a microphone. So you can magnify all those feelings, all those emotions, all those thoughts through your mic, which may be your pen right
Did y'all hear what you just said? Just drop the mic. Just drop it. When I couldn't speak, my pen spoke for me. My pen was my microphone until I found my voice. How many individuals out there feel as though they can't find their voice? You cannot, you feel as if right now in this moment that you don't know what you sound like. And see, it's a difference because we can talk all the time and have conversations and still not know who you are,
now.
and still not know. And so we hope that one of these methodologies, one of these methods, whether it's PowerPoint, journaling, get you, I like having paper without any lines,
Oh, the open
because
pen.
without limits,
Mhm.
no boundaries, no limitations. But I like just having, free space. And so whatever you need to embark on this journey of finding your voice, um, writing your story, sometimes before you get to rewrite, you have to write down what has transpired.
Anytime you start on a book, the first thing they say, you got to start writing. So just start there. Just being able to get it out of your head is going to be helpful and be progress for you. Because I know a lot of times for me, my ideas flow once I start writing and get them out of my head. For those of us who are overthinkers, overanalyzers like myself, that is a way for you to get out of that headspace.
Yeah, yeah. And you begin to release. So let's talk about, I love what you just said. So I was typing it, I'm typing it in the chat, and the you said that you were quiet, used to
Mhm.
being behind the scenes, and your pen was your microphone. Let's talk about this transition, because I know today you're out here again blazing these trails. You like, who got a microphone? Who have a stage? I'm on it. What we doing? What we doing? You know, as God directs, I'm showing up and I'm amplifying my voice. And so I just see you and you are doing it. Let's talk about this transition. How did you fully embrace, and when did you really see this shift taking place from hiding to like, now I'm getting up every opportunity that's before me? Let's take it.
All of this is recent. That's what's so crazy. Like you can
Let's
just
talk
be
about it.
overnight. So it started when I started the business. Because one, I questioned everything that I was like, oh man, can I do this? I was like, I don't know anything about operating a business or starting a business. And I was like, am I going to have the time to do it, working a full-time job? So even though I had so many questions and so many fears, I believe in still pushing past them and not letting a fear hold me hostage. So I did it afraid, which is a great book by Joyce Meyer, by the way. So doing that and overcoming those fears empower me, like, okay, if I can do this, that means I can keep going. So I just kept testing myself. One, starting the business. Two, I was like, okay, what is another fear of mine? One, getting out there and getting out from behind the shadows. So it started off with doing podcasts. And once I started, no, actually, let me take that back. My first business coach challenged me to do a Facebook Live. Oh my God, I was so fearful. This was probably 4 years ago, the first time I have ever done a Facebook Live. And she was like, just speak from the heart and speak about a topic that is near and dear to you. And once I started talking, it became comfortable, and seeing people engaging with me, I was like, oh, it wasn't as bad as I thought. So that's what I think I had to keep telling myself every time I started to do something that I was afraid of or out of my comfort zone, that fear is false evidence appearing real. Whatever scenario I paint ahead of in my head of what that fear is going to be never ever lines up or translates to the real life experience. So continuously challenge myself to come out of my comfort zone so that I can go into my growth zone. And I just got addicted to growing, to be honest with you. I was like, ooh, all of this time, I felt like I was holding myself hostage from walking into the platforms and the doorways that God would have me to walk in. And once I locked arms with Him to follow the assignment that He had for me, it just started going from there. So a lot of times I was the one who was holding myself back. I was the jailer and the one who put the chains on my wrists. And once I was ready to unlock myself to walk through those doorways that God already ordained and prepared, then I can claim my rightful place. So a lot of us need to go ahead and stop being our own jailers, holding our own self hostage from walking into your true potential.
Y'all, do she sound like she is unleashed tonight? Okay. Change broken off. Wow. I hear you. And I'm just processing it in my head, because what you're sharing is also what I experience, and and a lot now, more so that I'm even realizing, and that's showing, up for me as I am leaning in to what I believe the path that God has put before me. And I hear that, but sometimes, and like God, I know you done created these ways and all, all of these things.
Right.
But sometimes, like when you are, have you ever experienced a moment when you are like even on a spot ready to share or however in a space, but you feel like you're paralyzed, like you can't even open up your mouth, like something has get gripped you, you know what I'm saying? Like grip you. Have you ever experienced that? Like you can't.
I think I've been quiet for so long that now I want to talk.
Okay,
I've already been muted for 30 years. So now I'm at the point like I'm
I'm
continuously
opening my mouth. I'm doing
right,
this.
right. I will be heard. So let me roar. I'm at that phase now from being a person
Yes.
who was always on the other end for predominantly majority of her life.
Yeah, yeah. But when you were in that phase,
Right.
you spoke and you reaffirmed yourself, saying
Mm-hmm.
that, hey, I'm here. This is what we're going to do.
Right.
Insecurities, doubt, negativities, fears turn into faith. All of these things, that is what helped you to break through and break free and get to this moment in this
And
time.
then also the company and the circle that you keep. As you mentioned,
Hmm.
we are so well sisters. I must definitely give credit where credit was due to Dr. Vicky for creating that platform and the
Yes.
sisters that I connected with, being
Mhm.
in the midst of go-getters, powerhouses. You have no choice but to have that rub off on you
Mhm.
and be able to influence you to want to be in the midst of that greatness. So that's
Mhm.
like it says, as far as light has no business in the midst of darkness, that one is going
Mhm.
to influence the other. They influenced me to the point that I wanted to shine just as bright as far as and do and walk in my calling as God would have me to be. So that was also another part of always having someone who saw the best in me before I can see it for myself. And that started as a young girl. My godmother,
Mhm.
my friends, like there was always someone who saw Monique way down the line before I can see it. And that still is to this day. And that's why I want to be the conduit for another woman who doesn't have that person who is taking that sister and pouring into her so that she can see the highest form of her before she can see it. I want to be that person who can do that for another.
Yes. And you are doing it. Tell us about SWOLE and what it all entails. And if someone, because someone I'm sure is out here looking and listening in tonight, and they're hearing all of your story, what you tapped into, who you are now, and they may
Mhm.
want to connect. Tell us about SWOLE and how what is the process that you take a individual through, because I'm sure it's not, like you said, only the travel, right?
Right.
That's one part of it, but tell us what it's all about.
So you already spoke on far SWOLE is Soaring Without Limits Enterprises, and it's definitely way deeper than travel. So I specialize in international travel because many of us go to the same places, Jamaica, the Caribbean. So I want people to be able to expand their minds and be able to get out into places you may not have thought of, because I think that also will parlay into you and your personal and professional life and being open to expanding yourself beyond your comfort zone, because you're going into new territories, you're opening up new doors, you're embarking upon new adventures. And that's not just going to be in travel, that's going to also impact your personal as well as your professional life. So we do that as far as curating those international adventures. But what I also realized when I first started this, I was like, I am doing a lot of coaching in order to get these women to be open to go outside and get. Some of them never been on a plane, some have don't have
Mhm.
a passport, some have never been out of the country. So to be able to open up these women to these experiences, you have to set the tone and lay the groundwork, and that
Yeah.
starts with that mindset work. So I was like, okay, I want to be able to take this mindset work that I'm doing with these individuals and be able to offer this to the masses. So I started off, when I kicked off the business, was a 5-week course called I Believe I Can Fly. And that is taking my 25 plus years of all of my travel knowledge and pouring into them to tell them from A to B. It is the Cliff Notes, the ABCs of international travel, a 5-week course that will give you all of those tools, those tips, those tricks that I've learned from trial and error so that you don't have to fall into the same potholes that I drove over. So it started there, and then starting next month, just the mindset that I had to do, the mindset work that I had to do on myself and still do every day in order for me to continue to grow and to push, offering a mindset course called Brain Food Mindset of a Winner. And it's 3 mini courses: altering your mindset, express your emotions, and finding your voice. So speaking to all the phases that I have come through, which I'm sure many other women have, as far as the low self-esteem, the lack of self-confidence, being able to show you how I was able to come from here to here so that you can come and join me on this journey and showing up as your brightest, most powerful self. So those are some of the offerings, and we're offering also the Just Be retreat, which is coming up in June. As I said, the majority of us are overachievers, high achievers, doing. So this is an opportunity for you to just be, to walk in the essence of who you are. You can partake in activities, you can relax. Like, I want you to just show up and do what you need to do in order for you to refill and refuel your cup.
Now, you just gently just like ease right on in there with the Just Be, but we need a whole drum roll. Listen, I don't have my bells and whistles. Y'all, this Just Be retreat is going to be absolutely phenomenal. So you had me on I was over on your, look on your page where you have posted the layout of the landscape. I was like, wait a minute, probably get me. So you're gonna have to like share with us again what this experience is going to be, the lineup of amazing experts that you have. Tell us a little bit more, because the picture, you had me at the pictures.
Oh, yes, it is gorgeous. I'm like excited to experience it right along with them. So it is like our own little compound that we have. We have our own private beach. We are right there at the lake. So it is a lakefront property, Lake Murray, which is right outside the front porch, which is a wraparound porch. So we'll have hammocks, we'll have boats. If you want to go fishing, it is known for its sunsets. So anywhere in the house, you can see the sunset anywhere that you are in this home. This home can accommodate 23 people, but we are not doing that filled to capacity because I want people to be comfortable and have space. So it is 15 slots open, and I am super, super excited for what these ladies are going to experience with the powerhouses who are coming to pour into them. So we have Karen McCoy, who's going to be showing these ladies how to slap some paint on paper and using art as a form of a therapeutic method, and also far as for you to relax, unwind, and get those benefits of art. We have Rosalind Long, who is going to be doing some meditation and movement with us, sunrise, and we're also probably going to incorporate some sunset. She's going to be doing some herbal teachings, and also she's going to be offering them a Xido scan for all the attendees. I took it myself. It's a machine that she has. You place your finger on it, and it tells you all of the foods that agree with your body, that disagree with your body, where you may have some issues with your blood flow. It is like a whole page report that is personalized to you as far as what is causing ailments or where you need to pay more attention in your physical, as well as what the intake of food that you're taking in your body. So she's going to be giving that to our ladies as well. And then I have Dr. Kimberly Hardy, who is going to be joining us on this as well, who is going to be taking us back to those experiences we had as young girls, as far as bubble blowing, as far as how to use creative art and coloring affirmations, and she's going to give us a wonderful tea blooming ceremony, which I took part of with her last year. So I'm super excited because we have ladies here who are going to pour consistently during those 3 days into these women. We're also going to have a chef who is going to be curating all the meals. Breakfast, lunch, dinner is going to be made specifically for these ladies. We're going to be accommodating those who are vegan, vegetarians. That is part of our intake to make sure that we are meeting your dietary needs and what have you. So I'm just excited because I know that this is going to be a powerful experience, and as far as the women are going to be walking away like on air. Just one from the pictures of the property, and then just for being able to connect. I'm just excited.
Listen, I'm excited as well. And as you stated, it's called Just Be, right? You come and get, I believe in, I've heard someone say it, and I forgot who it was, but you know, just be. We
That's
have to
enough.
get what we need, right? We gotta
Mhm.
get what we need. You're giving out to other people, but do you know what you need? And sometimes it is just to be still. That's enough.
Mhm. Yeah.
Resting where you at. And so to know that you have curated this absolutely phenomenal experience for the ladies is just, it's just breathtaking. If there's someone who's interested, and I don't even know if you have any more slides or however available,
I do have some slots left, ladies. So
tell us how to connect.
first come, first serve. Dang, I don't have my link. So I can drop it in here when I get when
Yep.
we get here and put it in here for those who are interested in joining us on this experience. Because I had to revamp, I'll just be forthright. It was initially geared towards women who suffered from PTSD. And that's why I said this is my first time doing this. So this is a learning experience for me, and being able to share with those who may be interested in embarking about something. Make sure, one, that you are in tune with the voice of those who you are called to serve. And as I started, I'm going, being a woman, being one who also suffered from PTSD, just going off of my own thought processes versus being able from hearing from the women who I'm called to serve, and many of them wanting to know and get to the point of what the end is going to feel like, not focusing on their problem, but how was I going to help solve it. So this was a great learning experience for me, and hopefully I can share that with someone else when you are embarking on something, to make sure that you hear from the voices of those who you are called to serve. Even if you are in the same predicament as them, they may need something else different than you. So I had to, one, sit Monique's ego down and what Monique thought, and one, hear from the people, but also make sure that God was in step. I was in step with how He wanted this to go.
Yeah. That's so good. Thank you so much for your transparency, because when we're in it and we're planning and you're getting things, it sounds good. Um in our heads and in our feelings and emotions, and you all in there, but at the end of the day, it has to be, if it's going to be something that is really truly going to make an impact and help someone shift, then all of those things and ingredients have to be in there. So that's definitely powerful. So thank you for sharing with us what SWOLE is about, the workshops you have, starting at your mindset. That's important. Even before you get to the exposure, this amazing retreat that you have curated. But that's not it, y'all.
No,
Monique is an author. She's a speaker. She got some other things, and we're going to get all that in here tonight. You have a new book that you just released or collaborated with, and a couple other things. Go ahead and talk about you tonight.
Oh, well, appreciate it. Most of us don't like, but now I'm comfortable now, honey. I'm about to speak. So yes, for those who want to know more, I told you I love journals. So I also have Take That Trip Girl, the ultimate bucket list journal. Y'all can get that on
Oh,
my website, www.soaringwlimits.com. And what that is we're going back into the mindset. We're doing those key thought-provoking questions as to what are you doing to hold yourself back from being able to accomplish your travel goals and to get you to a place where you can. So it's a 3-year travel plan in there. There's some motivation bars for the 10 most well-renowned international locations and some small known facts about them. And there's also a place for you when you start getting out there to be able to reflect and write about that experience. So that was my first book offering that was released last year, but you can still get.
that's
And I'm
good.
excited about the current one. So Saturday, March 2nd from 2 to 5, myself, the visionary Dr. Vanessa Blackwell, and the other authors of Joy 365, a journal for joy restoration. We will be doing a book signing as well as a meet and greet at Calvary Gospel Church in Waldorf, Maryland. For those in the DMV, come out and see us. So this will be your first and probably only opportunity to be able
Wow.
to get your books signed by some of the authors. There is 365 of us, a different author from every single day, starting from the age of 6 up to the age of 92, who are pouring
What?
into this. We're sharing poems, prayers, words of aspiration. So you have a devotional that you can carry for the rest of 2024 because you have 365 people pouring into you. So that's Joy 365. And accompanying that is Choose Joy. So all of these same authors have wrote an affirmation to hold you in space for you to reflect on and pour into that for 365 days. So those who are in the DMV area, I would love for y'all to come out to Calvary Gospel Church from 2 to 5 in Waldorf, Maryland. I will autograph, sign your books. So will the other co-authors and the visionary of this project. And those who can't make it, you can find it on www.moniquespearson.com to get your copies.
Wow. Y'all, did she not just drop everything? This is drop it all just on a line, lay it on a line. That's how we have to be. And so I am just super excited for you, Monique. I didn't even know that it was coming this Saturday. So how timely, right? Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, y'all, it is we're wrapping up Black History Month, right? But we know that we're heading into Women's History Month. And so what an awesome opportunity to celebrate other women and movers and shakers who are doing just walking in their purpose, and all of
Mm-hmm.
us have something different. It's not the same path. You said 365 of you all.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't realize it was someone for each day.
That's why it's Joy 365. So you got a different piece of joy every single day.
I
So
love it. And you said from age 6 to 90 something?
youngest contributor is 6 years old, up to 90
Beautiful,
something. Yes. So
beautiful,
it is
beautiful.
beautiful. I just got my books in. So yes, it's awesome. So I definitely know that it will bless whoever um, is fortunate to get a copy of both or either or is gonna bless you.
Just give us like a little sneak peek, like into like what did your piece? Because I know you had, I don't know if you want to share a little, just a little. You don't have to
Well,
give us.
that's what
You
I
don't
said.
have.
Well, even if I do share it, I'm saying that I'm just one of 365.
No, I
So,
know. Like, so okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. I know.
so
I'm just
I
saying,
will
if it's
share
like
with
the
you
title, you ain't gotta share.
what my piece is speaking into as far as young girls and women who have been victims of molestation and
Okay, got
sexual assault. Being myself being molested as a young girl and
okay.
then being sexually assaulted as a woman, being able to survive and thrive and overcome those and being able, I wanted to
Awesome.
be able to speak from that piece as to how women can continue to come back and continue to shine after you've experienced those types of traumas.
Wow. Absolutely amazing. You mentioned earlier, moving from just surviving to now being able to thrive, and just sitting here listening to you and taking it all in. I know we're all still evolving in a work in process and progress, but I truly see that you are thriving, you are moving and you're shaking and you're in your calling. You
Yeah.
are like the energy. I see it on you. It lights you up. It don't matter if you just did 8 hours, 2 hours, it don't matter what just happened because I'm in it. I'm in it.
Hmm. I was just listening to that. I think Coach Prime just had a video about that as far as he was like, I don't consider what I do coaching work. I'm in my calling every day. And it's exactly what you just said. When you are operating in your calling, in your purpose, in your gift, there is going to be something that radiates off of you. And those who you are called to serve are going to be drawn to you because you are doing what God put you on this earth to do. So I want to encourage all of those who don't know what their purpose is, who
Come on,
don't
yeah.
know what their gift is, to seek and find out so that you can answer the prayers of the people who are called to you. And far as being able to experience the joy of knowing that you are making an impact. And when you leave this earth, the dash that's going to be on your headstone is going to have some weight behind
Did she just drop the mic again?
it.
Like,
Oh.
Chad, wait a minute. I'm trying to keep my lashes up. I'm trying to keep myself together tonight. Oh my goodness. So powerful. So powerful. And I'm looking over at the chat tonight and everyone's like, wow, it's just beautiful, a beautiful thing. And so we pray that anyone out there who may have or may just be navigating the fears, obstacles, things in your mind. Monique has shared even pieces of her journey tonight. And let me just pause. I was thinking about the word masterpieces the other day,
Mhm.
like masterpieces, and I'm still thinking it through. But I was thinking about, like, these are pieces that when we think about our life or our lives. Sometimes we have all of these different pieces, and we feel like it may be shattered.
Mm.
But then God shows us how to master, like we've mastered the piece. Does that make sense? Like we've mastered. We are not still broken. He's bringing us together, and he's making, going back to Katrina, he's making something beautiful out of these pieces. And when I think about all that you shared tonight, you have mastered and still mastering, but you've mastered those pieces that he's given you, and sharing those. And when we learn from those pivotal pieces and points in our lives, we are responsible, I believe. We're responsible then to take those. We ain't got to wait till we get to the end of the journey or whatever, this place, right?
Mhm.
But we can take those lessons learned and now help somebody else on their journey, whether it was our beginning, our middle, or close to more so where we at. Like you said, sis, this just started, this just happened in the last year, you
Yeah.
know, process it. But it doesn't matter. You've learned the lessons, you've gleaned from them, and you are now taking it and branding it, and because that's what God is giving you and giving it to someone else. And so it's a beautiful thing. And I'm saying all that to say, wherever, for our viewers and or our listeners tonight, and even those who want to listen to the replay, wherever you are right now, like Monique started, she said, you can rewrite your story.
Mhm.
It's not too late. Right from where you are tonight, And I was thinking about also even how you've added the travel in to it, right? And now the or added the personal professional development onto that, and how even before you get to the destinations, you are helping them to travel through their stories and their lives, to look at to change their perspective on what they've encountered through it. Just talk
Mm-hmm.
about the jewels and the gems that I didn't gain tonight, just listening to you. And so I'm like, wow. Now, so when I get to the destination or get to the excursion or whatever it is that you're taking me beyond my limits, then I'm really going to be tapping into a whole nother level of living. And so it's just a beautiful thing. Those are the things that resonated with me tonight. Um, I'm gonna close. I'm gonna drop the mic now. I'm gonna hand it over to T Ever. T Ever, what's been bubbling on over there with you tonight?
Bitch has been taking copious notes and stuck, okay, because Lady Monique, you did not come to play, okay? You did not. You came and you showed up and showed out, and have just your message has been a blessing because there were so many beautiful nuggets in all that you said. I just I resonate a lot with your last statement about for those that haven't found their purpose yet,
Mm-hmm.
because there's somebody waiting on you. There are people waiting on you,
Yeah.
and that's so powerful. So I just thank you. I thank you for the show up. I thank you for the pour out because it has been a tremendous, tremendous blessing.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm
Someone is
thankful that
waiting on
God gave me whatever He wanted me to share because that's what I prayed on. God, use me to share what you need for those who need what they need to hear out of these experiences. So I believe
you.
that
Yeah.
our testimony is there to be able to help someone else overcome in their time of need. So
Yeah.
thank you, ladies, for having me
Awesome.
on your platform. I appreciate it.
You are so welcome. So as we're wrapping up tonight, you have to let the end of, and if you have any last closing remarks, I know you just shared, but if you happen to have any, but definitely let our audience know how they can connect with you on your platforms.
So yes, you can reach me on my website, www.soaringwolimits.com. All things SWOLE, SWOLE Enterprise. You can reach me on IG, on Facebook, Monique Pearson on LinkedIn, and Monique Pearson on TikTok as well. So hit me up on any of those platforms. You can reach me. And I wanted to share
Yes,
one thing because
yes.
you were talking about pieces. And I was like, nope, God put me on the spirit to say about sharing from the book because that's exactly a piece in there that I speak on my part in the Joy 365, stating that you have taken the shards and the pieces of life and turned them into your own personal Van Gogh, meaning that you do not have to remain broken, that God can take you and be the super glue to all of those pieces, and you having those broken shards of life can all come together for your good. How God uses everything, what we may see as negative, and turn it around for our good because He did it for me. All those little broken fragments He brought together to bring to this woman that you see before you today. So I want to share with somebody else that you do not have to remain broken, sis, bro. You don't need to remain broken, that God can mend those pieces and turn you into a complete masterpiece, that you will be the Van Gogh because of those experiences that you have gone through.
Let that rest on y'all tonight. Let that rest on you tonight. There you have it, y'all. Sometimes you just gotta embrace what's there, right? And be in that moment. Tonight you have an opportunity. Monique has laid it all on the line to not stay in your pieces, but shift from the pieces to the masterpiece that God has already predestined you to be. Y'all, I thank you for joining us tonight. Woo! Help us give it up for our guest tonight, who has blazed the trail, Monique Pearson. Thank you for coming out and sharing with us. Oh my goodness. I'm just encouraged to live a life without limits. You know, I
Yeah,
already
that's
said,
what we
listen,
need.
live this life without limits. I love it because that's what it's all about. Everybody, this has been another show of Sister to Sister Talk Power Moves. Y'all know how we do. We keep just going higher and higher and higher. Just higher, just elevating all over the place. And we want you to continue to um just lock in with us because there's amazing things coming up this coming month. Next month, Women's History Month, we have some amazing women coming to share with us in this space. We also have Elevate You 2024 taking place, so that'll be shared. It will be more to come on that. But I want to, again, as we're closing out tonight, take a moment to say thank you so much again, Monique. You all will be back here on Monday at 7 p.m. Don't just meet us here, but beat us here. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. Y'all have a blessed night. Take care. Take charge. Thank you for coming out. See ya. Thank you,
Good
Monique.
night.
Thank
Blessings.
you.
See you, T.
Night.